Scared sleep. This situation happened around 2012. I was getting ready to go off to college and decided to sell some stuff to try to put aside as much money as possible. So on a Saturday morning, I posted a few belongings on Craigslist. I was selling a PlayStation 2 and a few games, altogether for $175. Within a few hours of posting, I had a reply. The message said that they were a serious buyer and if I could do $160 and that I would have to deliver it. So I had responded, if I have to deliver it, I can't go any lower than full price, but if you can meet at noon, I'll head right over. He replies back with just the address. Now, seeing the address and looking it up, I saw it was in a really bad part of town. Like, cops don't even patrol there bad. I reply back and let him know I will be there at noon. A little while later, he responds, just hurry up. Not wanting to go alone in this situation, I call my friend Brandon and ask him to come with me, as going there alone seemed like an even worse idea. I pick Brandon up, we go get something to eat and head over. We pull into the neighborhood at around 11:55, and all the houses in the neighborhood seem empty. There's almost no cars in sight, but we find the right address, and I tell Brandon to keep an eye out and to stay in the car. I grab the PlayStation and the games, walk up to the house, and knock on the door. No answer. I turn around, look at Brandon in the car, and he just shrugs. So I ring the doorbell. After a moment, I hear the door unlock, and a man who appeared to be in his early 40s, wearing a wife beater and a very dirty zip-up hoodie, opens the door. As we make eye contact, he says in a demanding tone, "Go through the side gate. This screen doesn't work." And he slams the door in my face. Getting annoyed at this point, I contemplated just leaving. But then I hear the guy yelling to come on back. I go through the busted-up, old-looking side gate and through the backyard. Now, the backyard is littered with garbage and rusted scraps. I make my way through and get to the back door. The guy asks me to take off my shoes. I tell him, it's okay, I'll wait out here. And I set the bag of games and the console on the ground and say, it's all there, you want to take a look? As soon as I say that, he snaps and says, not until I test it first. No worries, go ahead, I reply. He grabs the bag with the console and goes through the house into a room just out of sight. I could see a faint glow of the room that he was in. As I'm standing to the doorway to the backyard, I begin to scan the house, and it was littered with trash, and on the table there was a pile of bloody tissues and a really creepy doll. I look down at my feet and I notice maybe 10 pairs of shoes thrown off to the side. All sizes, from kids to high heels, all of them relatively clean too. Now, after a few minutes, I'm getting more on edge. Now my phone vibrates. It's Brandon. You good? He writes. Yeah, almost done, I reply. After a few moments, the guy comes back and says, why isn't the cable to charge the controller included? You said it was included, in a nasty tone. I think I threw it in the bag with the games. He reaches down, grabs the bag, and starts thumbing through the games. So if it's all up and running, are we good? I say. He looks up at me with pure hatred and anger in his eyes. Hold your horses, he says. I tell him, my friend outside is waiting. Well, all I have is $160, so take it or leave it. Now, knowing I should have trusted my intuition and not even replied in the first place, I decide to take the loss. It's only $15, so I say, whatever, that's fine. He goes over to the couch and comes back with a crumbled up wad of 20, 10s, and $5 bills. I count it as fast as I can while he's inspecting the games. Once I get the money organized and I see it's $160, I say, right on, thank you, have a good one, and turn to leave. As I get to the gate in the back, I hear a loud bang coming from inside the house, and screaming. Now hearing the rage and anger in his voice, I just panicked and ran to the car, down the dead grass front lawn, and hop in the driver's seat. And Brandon says, dude, what happened? I put the car in drive, and as I look to Brandon to tell him about everything that happened, I see the guy standing on the front porch, holding a case of what looked to be a Madden game. Where is the insert? He yells. Confused and almost mind-blown that an insert for a sports game would set somebody off like this, I go to roll the window down to ask what he was on about, and Brandon says in a panic, dude, go now, he has a gun. Just go. I floor it, hit the wheel all the way to the left, pop it in reverse, and back up real quick. I throw it in drive, and as soon as I put in drive, I see the man aiming a gun at the car walking down his driveway. I floor the gas pedal, duck my head down, and hear a loud bang. Once I get down the street, I look in the rearview mirror only to see the guy in the middle of the street pointing a gun at the car. Completely terrified at this point, I speed out of the neighborhood and I drive to a Walmart parking lot nearby, while on the way telling Brandon of what I saw inside the house. Once there, I looked to see if there was any damage or if he shot my car. Luckily, there was nothing. Now, most people don't know what it's like to have a gun pointed at you and what you'll do in that situation. And I never called the cops on that guy. And I don't know why I didn't. Best case scenario, he was a crazy guy with a bad temper. And worst case scenario, well, truthfully, I don't want to know. But how did all those shoes get there, I wondered.